Hey everybody. So cell division is the topic of this video. Before I get into that though, we're going to look at a couple of keywords that you need to know. There goes my speaker. So firstly, the two terms are haploid and diploid. So when we're describing a particular cell, a cell is normally either haploid or diploid. And haploid means in that cell, so this would be the nucleus of a particular cell. Not human, obviously, because there's only 3 chromosomes. So these are chromosomes. So haploid means you've got only one copy of each chromosome. And we know from when we learnt about genetics and we learnt about karyograms that most cells in the human body are diploid, or that they've got 2 copies of each chromosome. So in this particular cell, there's the nucleus again. We've got our 3 types of chromosomes, but now we've got 2 copies of each. And that's what diploid means. I think that comes from the ancient Greek, with haplo meaning 1 and dip or di meaning 2. So 2 copies of each. So in the human case, we're used to seeing 2 copies of each chromosome, because here's a karyogram that we'd be pretty familiar with. So remember, for humans, we've got 46 chromosomes in total, but that's because we've got 2 copies of each. So really we want to think of it as 23 chromosomes, but we've got 2 sets. We're diploid. And the symbol for diploid is 2n. Which is basically math symbols, 2 times n. And that's because n represents how many chromosomes you have in your haploid cells. So here's actually a karyogram of a haploid human cell. And we can see that there's only 1 copy of each, so this cell only has 23 chromosomes. So just 23 in total. Alright, so moving on, the next concept we'll talk about is just introducing cell division as a concept. So cell division, it's pretty much what the name says. It's the process of cells making new cells. Cells dividing to make new cells. So it's basically like reproduction, but for cells. So you can think of it as that whole organisms reproduce to make a new organism, and if we're down on the cell level, cells divide. So it's just a different way of saying the same thing, really. Organisms reproduce and cells divide. Okay. So that's a few more of the basic terms that we'll need for the rest of this inheritance topic.